Hello. I don't know. I'm just kind of like dragging this week or overwhelmed this week. So if my energy level seems a little low, it's not you. It's not you. It's me. So don't let this dissuade you from doing your startup-y kind of things. If my energy level seems kind of low, it's not my level of excitement. It's not my level of enthusiasm. It's just my my level of energy. So the big news story this week. It was kind of a quiet news week. Like lots of stuff happened this week, but just kind of quiet news-wise. So the big story this week, our friends out in Pendleton, the Oregon UAS Accelerator, the drone and drone adjacent startup focused accelerator, had a couple big stories that hit right back to back. So I'm looking forward to covering that. Before I get into that, I just want to touch on something really quickly that I found interesting from our friends in Seattle. Story in GeekWire. If you're not familiar with GeekWire, it's the preeminent Pacific Northwest tech publication, a TechCrunch-esque publication, if you will, but focused mostly on Seattle, some Portland, a lot of Spokane, Washington, throughout the Pacific Northwest. Anyway, they captured Taylor Soper, who happens to have Portland roots. Taylor captured a conversation about Seattle maybe lacking in unicorns or being concerned that there weren't as many unicorns as people would like in Seattle, or maybe that having fewer unicorns was perhaps a bad sign. The only reason I mention it sounded like a very Portland conversation. It sounded like conversations we have in Portland all the time. Like, we don't have enough IPOs, we don't have enough unicorns, we don't have enough venture funding. So I just wanted to highlight it as this is a conversation a lot of communities go through, even if they seem incredibly successful, like our friends in Seattle happen to be. Even they have concerns about, well, maybe we don't have enough of this, or maybe we don't have enough of that. So I wanted to highlight it. I will link it up. You should go read it and kind of see some of the dialogue and conversation, and just take to heart that if you're feeling like Portland may be a little lacking in some ways, I want you to recognize that everybody struggles with that. And I think it's good that Seattle's having that conversation. I think it's good that Portland has those types of conversations on a regular basis. But just to say, let's not get too stressed out about what you don't have. Let's focus on what we do have and what we do terribly well. See, I'm getting more positive already. Just talking to you is bringing up my energy level and making me far more enthusiastic. So I just wanted to, again, I'll link up that GeekWire story. Go read it. If you have thoughts about it, I would love to hear it. If you have thoughts about how that perspective applies to Portland, of course, I would love to hear that. Just wanted to highlight it because it felt like a very familiar conversation to me. Still not back in Portland. We were in Seattle. Now we're over to Pendleton, over to Eastern Oregon. This is the Oregon UAS Accelerator, the drone accelerator out there in Pendleton with the flight paths and the facilities and the drones and all the things out there. As you know, they have an accelerator program out there. And if you're building anything that has to do with drones or is drone adjacent, they are perhaps the best startup accelerator for you in the whole wide world. Just right here in Oregon, in Eastern Oregon. So if you're working on drone stuff, just be aware. They're out there. They're ready to help you. You should apply for their accelerator. The big news, however, is they just graduated a cohort of companies, and I would like to share the names of the companies that just graduated. But even more amazing than that, taking companies through an accelerator program and doing the demo day for the cohort, they're already bringing a new cohort in. So they just finished spring 2025. Now they're launching summer 2025, and they have a cohort of companies going through the program yet again. It's almost like kind of Y Combinator going to a quarterly model. So I don't know how many companies the drone accelerator out there is going to go through in a given year, but at least let me share the companies that went through spring 2025, and then I'll also share the companies that are going to be going through summer 2025. So spring 2025 was 3 Autonomy, Accipiter AeroWorks, Drone Spotter, Morgan Geospatial, and Ziz Defense Company. Those are the companies that just graduated, just had their demo day. The companies that are just coming in for summer 2025 are FlyX Technologies, FNN Aviation. They're probably doing some innovation as well, but their name is Aviation, not Innovation, Rick. Outer Rim Exploration and Centradel. So those are the companies that will be there for the next three-ish months working on their companies, getting their mentorship, getting their pitches ready, and of course we'll have a demo day. I think this is the one that has the demo day that aligns with the Pendleton Roundup. If you're not familiar with the Pendleton Roundup, it's a world-famous rodeo that occurs in Pendleton once a year. And also, I think our 8 Seconds, the Black Rodeo, is coming up here really soon as well. I didn't happen to get tickets to it because it sold out real quick, but that's coming up soon. Anyway, I digress. We were talking about drones, not rodeo. You know, you can take the boy out of Idaho, but you can't take the Idaho out of the boy. So I get really excited about those rodeos. Pendleton Roundup, they have their demo day in conjunction with it. So it's this kind of big celebration where the startups not only get, the chance to demo what they're doing, but the mentors and the attendees to the event also get to experience Pendleton Roundup. So congratulations to all the companies that just graduated from the Oregon UAS Accelerator. And I look forward to this new cohort of drone companies to see what they're up to as the Oregon UAS Accelerator helps them out throughout the summer. Speaking of pitching, our friends FanWagn, FanWagn, they're the company that they're really helping people upcycle, recycle fan wear like jerseys or hats or anything that has to do with a sporting team that you may love. Could be a collegiate sporting team, could be a professional sporting team. If you, have some jerseys that maybe don't fit anymore and you would like to provide those to others by selling them to others, FanWagn can support that. If you're looking for a particular jersey, maybe there's a throwback or a particular year, or you just don't want to pay, I think it's $3,000 for a new jersey from a new professional sporting team. If you don't want to pay that much, FanWagn has gently used jerseys and apparel and other things with sporting insignias on them that are available for you to purchase as well. So really the benefit is it's keeping all this stuff out of the landfill. It's creating this interesting marketplace dynamic and this economy for the fan world, fans of professional and collegiate sporting teams. So super interesting. Always nice to see them having success, which is exactly what they did. They just got back from the NextCycle competition, again, up in Washington, but they walked away with a first place win in the reuse category and got one of those big fancy checks for $10,000. So congratulations to FanWagn. It's always nice to see Portland companies getting recognition outside of the region and having other folks recognize the amazing stuff that Portland folks are working on, especially when it comes to saving our environment and, of course, celebrating all the amazing sporting teams in our midst. So yes, Washington has its pitch events, but we have pitch events around here too. In fact, we have a bunch of events coming up next week that I thought I would share with you, just so you were aware of what was going on. I kind of covered the news from what happened throughout the week and then kind of lead up with some events that you may be able to attend next week. On Tuesday, we're hosting our Where Are They Now event. This is the Pride edition. We're making some changes to it. So we always get feedback and we always take that feedback and assess and think about how we can change the event so that it better meets the needs of attendees. And one of the concerns or criticisms was that we weren't spending enough time with each fireside guest. So we've really reduced the number of guests who we will be chatting with during the time period. They'll get a longer period of time to have that fireside chat. We'll test drive that, see how that goes for the community, see what the feedback is there. But again, that's 5 o'clock at Instrument on Tuesday. We'll be talking to a bunch of folks from the community about their experiences as founders or as part of startup support organizations. That, of course, will be hosted by Carmen Olson, who is the chair of Built Oregon, chair of the board there at Built Oregon, and she's been kind enough to agree to be the person doing the fireside chat with our guests. So we hope you can join us there. On Wednesday night, it is another pitch event. It's not a pitch competition. It's the Oregon Venture Fund's PDX AI Demo Night. They'll have a number of companies who are taking the stage there. I've got them listed on the blog, and I can probably list them in the description below in case you're wondering who will be pitching. I forgot to put them in my script, so I can't read them off. Just rest assured there are probably going to be five or six really interesting companies pitching there. Here's the little twist with the PDX AI Demo Night. I know it's Wednesday night. I know the company's pitching, even though I can't remember them or tell them to you, but I don't know the location. The location is top secret. Oregon Venture Fund always keeps the location top secret until you register. So if you want to go see AI companies, if you want to see the latest and greatest of what's happening in Portland, in AI, what people are building, what they're trying to build, what they've come up with, that's what PDX AI Demo Night is for. That's why OVF puts it together. I'll link up the registration so you can get both the list of companies, but also register to attend if that's interesting to you. And then also happening that same night by crowd vote is Social Beer. If you're not familiar with Social Beer, it originated on the Portland Startup Slack. If you're not familiar with Portland Startup Slack, it's an open Slack instance dedicated to the Portland startup community, designed to give a virtual format for people in the community to connect with one another. It's as easy as that. It's pdxslack.com if you want to join. There's 7,000 some odd accounts on there. Probably, a small percentage of those accounts are active on a regular basis, but it's still a good group of people who show up every single day. And sometimes they show up and the Social Beer channel on the PDX Slack says, hey, we should get together, says Social Beer channel, says Devin Gaffney, who has taken it upon himself to organize social beer gatherings. And they say, hey, we should get together soon. When should we get together? And then everybody votes, and then they tally the votes, and they're like, this is the day we're getting together. And it just turns out it's Wednesday, June 11th is when they're getting together. I think they're going to Migration. I really should do more research on these before I start babbling. I'm just so excited to talk to you, and clearly you're boosting my spirits by me getting the chance to talk to you anyway. So maybe if you're looking for a little social interaction, consider going to Social Beer on Wednesday night at Migration. It's a little bit later. I think it goes 6 to 9 or something. So you even have time to go to the OVF PDX AI Demo Night and then maybe swing by, the Social Beer as an after party or whatever. I don't know. You do you. You figure it out. You're an adult. You decide what you want to do. Cool. Okay. And then back into more pitching. Demolicious happens Thursday night. There are a whole bunch of companies pitching there, and I remembered there were a whole bunch of companies pitching there, so I actually wrote them down. So let me tell you who will be taking the stage at Demolicious on Thursday the 12th, I believe. These are the companies who will be vying for the Demolicious belt. They all get 3 minutes. The crowd votes, and then the winner of the crowd vote gets the Demolicious belt. You'll also remember that the previous champion from the previous month comes up, also pitches against all the new companies. So it's entirely possible that the champion could walk away with the belt another time. They could defend their title. So let's take a look at who's on the card for the Demolicious of June 2025. Soundchecked is the champion, so they're looking to defend their title, but pitching against everybody else but trying to take the belt are Agent Hub, Edo Learning, Old Ladies Find Money, Decisio, Data Speaks, Dappled Tonic, Breath Medical, Transcribit, Livable Homes, Venue Connects, Solving for Global Traffic, and Faye of Cascadia. So those are all the companies that will take the stage. Get 3 minutes. You'll get to vote for them. I believe it's held in the Metro Region Innovation Hub on Thursday. So if you'd like to see one or all of those companies pitch, please attend Demolicious on Thursday. And then, of course, Friday at the Metro Region Innovation Hub, they have donuts and coffee at the Startup Cafe. So if you want to hang out at the Metro Region Innovation Hub, you want to have a donut or two, cup of coffee, see some startups, meet some mentors, hear some content. I can't remember. They always have some content program there. Again, I can't remember much this episode. Clearly, I was dragging and I didn't prepare well. You deserve more. I apologize. I will do better next time. I'm really sorry. It's just been a week. So that's Friday morning for you. Startup Cafe at the Hub, the Metro Region Innovation Hub. Cool. Another thing I just wanted to touch on, I've been test driving a thing that I used to do a long time ago. I kind of brought it back because there's just so much information flying around and I wanted you to have access to it. I call it the Silicon Florist links arrangement. It's kind of like those newsletters you get that just kind of give you a lot of links of important stories that are happening day to day. I publish it every weekday. It's a list of links. It can be as few as 3 or 4 links. Sometimes it's 10 or 15 links. Depends on what's going on throughout the day. But I just wanted you to be aware of it in case you were looking for yet another resource to help keep you up to date on all the interesting things that are happening in Portland, in Oregon, or in the world of startups and tech that may be important to you, maybe VC stuff, maybe AI stuff. It's a litany of links that I collect every single day, especially for you and only you to read and click and read and to make you more interesting at cocktail parties or whatever. So if that's of interest to you, please tune in. Or what you can also do is subscribe to the newsletter, and I'll just send them all to you at the end of the week. And then you can take your own sweet time clicking through all those links. You don't have to click through them day to day. So you do whatever you need to do. It's there for you. I'm collecting them for you and for me. If I'm being honest, I'm collecting a lot of them for me because I find them interesting, but I wanted to share them with you. So Silicon Florist links arrangement, every single weekday, a bunch of interesting links for you to keep up to date on what's happening in the startup world. And that's it for this week. I went through it pretty quickly. I think I took the most time complaining and screwing up. But, some weeks that's just the way it is. You get what you get. I show up. I try and do my best. I'm really happy to see you. And I really feel a lot better than I did at the beginning of this show. So thank you for being here. I hope you're doing okay. It's going to be hot this weekend. Take care of yourself. Hang in there. And until we get the chance to chat again, please keep up the good work.